me how to say ladies and gentlemen in gender-neutral terms.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Oh, here we are. We have children playing in the background. We have dogs playing in the background here. And we have kitty cats. We are all set. Ladies and gentlemen, it is HIAC Talk Radio. And I'm very upset. I still can't find that video I produced the other day. And I'm very angry with that. But hey, I'm here with Craig Legons. I'm here with Derek McDonald, D-Mac in the house. And we are here. We are live. And we have, so far this year, we have been here every week. We're on a new streak. One of us is going to break that streak. It's probably going to be me because my ear's still fucked up. But so good. I'm liking it. How are we doing this week, gentlemen?
Not too bad.
Well, one of us is healthy.
Yeah. Craig's good. My ear's still being wonky. Derek has pneumonia, COVID, AIDS.
I think I have. I think I'm fighting the flu.
He's got fluvid. Fluvid?
That sounds
that's
good.
not fun. Like, it's funny, but it's not funny because I'm pretty sure that's next, where it's just to make sure COVID and flu are just your balls fall off and you're and you can't breathe anymore and we all die. It's fine though, because we have an administration that's perfect and not divisive in any way and is going to take care of everybody under the alphabet soup that I was told it was yesterday. And some guy who went to war in Afghanistan wants to fight me because he's a Nazi. And that's my problem. I did not see that coming.
No, Dan, he was throwing his heart at you. That's what he was doing. He was throwing his heart. Can you believe that? Throwing his heart. Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid.
This country.
I mean, usually when I throw my heart to somebody, I just go.
You know, one of these, one little that. Yeah.
The Taylor Swift thing that I can't apparently.
Yeah, the little heart thing. Yeah.
Diamond upside down is a pussy. You know, like.
But I was Germans were throwing off guard at us from 1942 to 1941.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen. I love every time we record a podcast and I go, you know what, next week I don't want to talk about how Tony Khan's a shithead and how AEW, like I really, really go into every week going, we're going to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bring up the bad stuff. I want to be different than other podcasts. And then Tony Khan does beat Tony Khan. That was in English, but you get my point. Tony Khan ends up being Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, mind-blowingly to me, it's Britt Baker. And I know I've seen the love-hate with the fans of Britt Baker. Like, I've seen the Britt Baker's amazing. Britt Baker's only in it because she's married to somebody in the business. And now Tony Khan's done. I've seen a lifetime in the 2 years for Britt Baker. I think Britt Baker's a great wrestler. I like the Dennis gimmick. I think they should have leaned into it more. Not all the way to Isaac Yankem, but I think, that one of these matches should have been a weapons match. You should have drilled a hole in somebody's jaw or something like I like that. But apparently we're done with Britt Baker for some reason not explained to me, Derek. Tony Khan is done with Brooke Baker.
You hear that Tony likes toys. Everybody gets a new toy. And for the longest time, Britt Baker was like his favorite toy in the women's division. Do you think, and I hate saying this because I'm a fan of her, but do you think he's now like completely in love with the character that is Mercedes Moné, and maybe Britt doesn't like that? And I hate to do the whole catty thing, but that's the only thing I can think of. Like, she was an original. It was her and Swole were like the first. Swole was going, by the way, where they're like first big female programs, right? And she's gonna be on my show. She's gonna be on Ashe this week, by the way, Big Swole. But they were like their first big feud, and now Swole's gone and Britt's on the outs, and I don't know why. I'd imagine if she wants to leave, she'd fit in perfectly in WWE on any show, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, or even NXT. They have 3 shows with 3 amazing female rosters. And she can talk. Like she's good on promos. And I could just imagine her like in the ring going promo for promo with Charlotte. And I can't understand where it all went wrong. Now I'm not backstage, none of us know, but it's weird to me like Tony just woke up one day and was like, "Oh, I've had enough of Britt."
But do you remember though when she got into that argument with MJF backstage?
Yes.
About MJF's girlfriend or something. Now this is after she had been off TV for a long time, because the other knock on Britt Baker was she's unsafe, or she would either hurt someone or she'd hurt herself.
Yeah.
And so then that backstage heat with MJF, and even when she had her feud with Serena Deeb, and she just kind of shoots that nobody cares.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when she came out. Yeah.
So she was getting heat with the wrong people at the wrong time. So I know we still don't know specifically, but I mean, I think those things contributed to it. And as bad as Tony Khan is, what a horrible boss he is, he's never going to fire anyone unless it's his biggest star he's ever had, or he's never going to release anyone unless it's one of the guys that started the company with him, who's now currently the most popular wrestler on earth, Cody.
That's nuts.
But he's never gone. But he'll just ghost you. He just won't book you. He won't put you on TV. He'll keep paying you. The bad part about AEW is more guys just want to be paid to do nothing than actually work. Ricky Starks wants to work. Britt Baker wants to work. Miro wants to work. But there's so many people more people than not in the company that just want to work one day a week and then bitch and moan about that. But I don't mind the paycheck. So this is more, I mean, I'm not excusing Britt Baker her behavior, because she had legitimate heat backstage, but any kind of boss would have nipped that in the bud a long time ago. And a suspended fine is something, but if people that want to leave, you hold hostage. Even if they go out of the way to say, I want to leave, he's not going to grant that request. Again, not a good boss.
No, it's like
one who doesn't want to work there.
It's like because now I'm thinking about it. If you go back a couple of years ago, apparently she had a problem with Thunder Rosa, and if you're Tony, you sit them down and you go, enough, no more of this. When Becky and Charlotte were having their thing backstage, and remember it spilt into that segment in the ring where Becky and Charlotte they threw the belt down and blah blah blah. Somebody took them up. They must have took them aside somewhere. Somebody told them enough. And then last year, 2 years ago at War Games, they're hugging and you hear that they're friends again. Because sometimes it takes a boss to nip these type of things in the bud. I wonder, see, Tony, he's a fan. And it's obviously, I know he says he hates Vince, but every day he's turning more and more into Vince without all the crazy allegations. I wonder if he saw...
give it time.
I wonder how he saw Vince let Brett and Shawn kind of keep going at it. And it made for good TV. Now, in the end, it didn't work out. So I think he's forgetting how it all ended. But it made for great TV. And I wonder if he thinks if I keep this going, it'll lead to great television. I don't know. The most damning quote CM Punk ever said about him is when he asked him, do something about Jungle Boy. And he said, Tony looked at him and goes, what do you want me to do? And Punk said, I don't know. Be the boss. That's the most telling quote I've ever heard about that point.
You deal with it, or I'm going to deal with it. And you're not going to like the way I deal with it.
So I guess, I'm kind of mind blown by hearing all this, because for better or for worse, he's got AEW and ROH. I am not actually real clear on ROH and if they have a TV schedule to begin with. I think, do they just broadcast the PLEs? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. I don't know what format though, but yes.
Okay. So you have two companies, and you have a faction's worth of wrestlers that want to leave or you're just not doing anything with. So for better or for worse, it'd be different if this is 1998 and we didn't have the history of Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff, AWA, NWA, WCW, WWF in our back pocket. We have the history, modern day history and modern day coverage of what not to do when you have this much talent at your fingertips. And you know how I feel about wrestling promoters, but I'm saying as a wrestling promoter, you know what? Use your pen, bitch. You have Britt Baker. You have. Why is Jericho? My personal thoughts, Jericho aside, on ROH, get him back on AEW TV only. Fill that spot with somebody else. You're doing it right with Athena. You got that goal, but I need you to figure out a way. And maybe if we sat here and had more time one week, we should fantasy book ROH and AEW with all these extra stars, because you have all these stars. Phoenix is sitting home for no reason. Britt Baker is a talent. I don't give it. Like, I'm a Thunder Rosa Mark, but if you sorted it out, have them work a program. Have Phoenix work a program with somebody.
Well, you know what? Punk wanted to do Punk and FTR versus the Omega and the Bucks. That's a mint right there.
It's money.
Why not just make money of it? We don't like each other. Perfect. Let's make money of it. And I even love a quote from Jim Cornette. Always there are two guys that can't stand each other. Go out in the parking lot, fight. Use baseball bats, hatchets. I don't care. Have a real fight, because the fake one I'm going to sell tickets to.
Yep. I mean, Ron Simmons did business with Ahmed Johnson, and they both injured each other, and they did business for what, a year and a half.
Yeah.
So
look, damn close to 2 years, and Ahmed Johnson couldn't work his way out of a bag.
Nope. And all Ron did was get receipts in the ring, but he's willing to work with him.
Still fucking doing
you can't. I look at Kenny Omega, who was the only one who was willing to talk, do any type of business.
Of course he was.
He has a look on his face when he comes out now where I think he's just going through them. I think he regrets re-signing.
Okay, so it's not just me. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I was watching that first promo when he came back, and I'm like, I'm trying not to read into body language because it's wrestling and it's a work and that kind of thing. But I'm watching this going, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, it just looks like he's like, I'm all right. I'm just going to get through these next couple years. Hopefully my body holds up and I can get a couple manias out and then retire. He looks like he looks like towards the end, looking back at the Cody promos before Cody left. You could look at Cody.
Yeah.
He had the same look. Like I'm just here. Let's just get this over with.
I again, and if you're just running into this podcast for the first time, I want very much AEW to be very as good as it possibly can.
Yes.
I'm not sitting here like they should die and fuck. I'm a Fed guy. I'm not a Fed guy. To be happening what is happening. And all Tony has to do is hire somebody or use somebody he's got there already to be what you wanted CM Punk to be. I'm not going to do it. You do it. Be a spokesperson between. You mentioned Ahmed Johnson and Ron Simmons. I almost called him Farouk. I apologize. I'm sorry. I hate that name, by the way.
Yeah, Ron Simmons sucks.
I never. Yeah, right. Yeah. And by the way, even as a young kid who sat there and watched him win live the title in Baltimore and then go to WWE and come out with a fucking helmet.
Yeah. Gladiator, yeah.
I still called him Ron Simmons because he's Ron Simmons to me.
And I was like, why is he with Sonny? I was like, why is Sonny with him? What is happening here?
I mean, hey, Ron.
Yeah.
But I was also going to bring up, and I know you guys, some people are going to go, but Brett and Sean, the screw job. Yes, but that's not Brett and Sean. That was Vince stepping in because he created that problem. But for better or for worse, Brett and Sean worked that program for damn near 5-6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
have history going back to the Rockers and Hart Foundation.
yeah.
And they weren't always enemies too, because those guys, the four of them, Hart Foundation Rockers, they hung out. They were the opening match during the peak Hulkamania years in the late 80s. So they would they'd be the first match and have the best match of the card, and they'd be gone out to dinner by the time Hogan got in the ring. So then they were fine with each other. It was only when they became single stars. And again, this is all Sean. Brett's Brett, but Brett's always been professional. But Sean with his pills and his friends and his influence, and I don't know what pictures he has of Vince that always had, that Sean could get away with about anything.
That used to be funny, but now I can only imagine.
Now it ain't that funny now, is it?
No, it's not funny. Yeah.
But guys, that's probably the most prominent example of a long history of guys that didn't get along, but did business together. Goes back to Luther and Mike Rogers.
And even if Brett being the professional, even after Sean went on TV, and basically ruined the guy's marriage by saying Brett was having an affair with Sonny, who Sean was having the affair with at the time.
Yeah.
Brett said he still went up to the guy in the locker room and said, "Hey, I'm willing to do business. I won't hurt you." And it wasn't until Sean goes, "I appreciate that, but I wouldn't do the same for you." That's where it crumbled. So Brett stayed professional to the very end. To the very end.
We can be critical of Brett all we want, but really, the more that the years go on and the more people open their mouth about it, the more I'm like, no, I'm on Brett's side on that one.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on Brett's side. Oh, you want this belt? Suck my ass. Like, I'm not giving it to you. And I was just talking to Kelly about this the other day because I was watching a live show of Cornette and JR talking about it. But it occurred to me because I remembered, I believe it was Briscoe and Patterson that were showing Michaels backstage how to either break out of things or how to put the man on the hold in case Brett went after him. Like that was gonna help. Like that was
right?
Like that Sean all of a sudden was gonna be able to put a hold on Brett, the son of Stu fucking Hart,
and hold him down.
Stop him from trying to break his leg off and beating him with it.
I heard a great quote. It's like Pat Patterson and Jerry Briscoe. In 5 minutes, we're gonna try to turn Shawn Michaels into Hoist Gracie. Our match.
Just grab a lemon pull.
Yeah, that's not how it works. But the last point on Sean before we move on. On Brett. Brett even said, and even before the hindsight of going to WCW, if there was any way that he could have, if he could have gone back, he would have done something in order to stay. He realized, what he wanted to leave. Yeah, he never wanted to leave, and obviously knowing what was going to, even if he knew what was going to happen to him when he went to WCW, he said, "I would have found a way. I would have worked something out so that the screw job wouldn't have happened." But yeah, so that is a regret for him because even still, again, Sean was the prick, and everyone on his side, but Brett still gets heat for exposing the business, for saying that how he got screwed, and telling everyone.
No. Everybody who says that, and all due respect to Jim Cornette as far as the wrestling part of it, Craig, in my opinion, once you did that to him, and if Wendy Richter would have come out in those days and said the same thing, I would have supported her 100%. Brett was not in the wrong. And Britt Baker coming out, just to tie it back in, Britt Baker saying what she's saying, Ray Phoenix, they are not in the wrong either. No matter how much the IWC is trying to turn them into the bad guys. I stop bootlicking the goddamn promoter.
And then people go, well, Ray Phoenix should honor his contract. Where did he say he didn't want to wrestle?
Yeah.
They said him and Pinto were willing to do business until the contract expired.
Now you're just making up words.
Yeah, and then they pulled the guy's merchandise. Yeah, they pulled the guy's merchandise off the website because his brother had a great debut the night before on Raw. It's like you're being petty for no reason. Oh, Ricky Starks. And I notice whenever something happens to somebody in AEW, the smear campaign comes out. I wonder where it's coming from. But there's always a smear campaign. Malachi Black is leaving. Now it's, wrestlers are happy he's leaving because he didn't want to put anybody over. It's like, what? Where was all this when he was in the company?
Yeah.
You know, Ray Phoenix, Ricky Starks doesn't want to do anything creative. And Ricky Starks goes, I've never turned anything down. All I said was I wanted to experience free agency. And it's like, Tony's like, how dare you for wanting to leave here? This place is great.
Yeah.
I'm going to punish you on your way out. But all he's doing is, so when Miro/Rusev shows up on WWE TV, whenever, he'll be a bigger star. Phoenix will be a bigger star when he shows up. Ricky Starks is going to be a super. All you're doing is turning these people into martyrs, and when they go somewhere else, everybody's going to be happy to see them. It's stupid. If you're leaving the territory, do business on the way out.
Right.
That's all.
Time-honored tradition. And Penta's already a bigger star in 2 weeks than he ever was in 5 years with AEW.
By far.
So that's what really chaps Tony's ass. That's why he doesn't want to let anyone go.
We'll agree to disagree on the Sting ending in AEW, and as a Sting mark, I was happier than a pig in shit. I might as well. I might not have been happy with something.
Excuse me.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have. My dogs are barking. I forgot I muted it. I wouldn't have. I'm not happy with who was on Sting, who was involved with the Sting ending. But I, as a Sting fan, I was absolutely over the moon with him getting the ending he did. However, I remember when he was in WCW and in TNA, it was still Sting the Icon, and then they had that WWE 2K commercial with Sting on it.
Oh, with the band, yes,
which was the best thing I had ever seen for Sting produced in 20 years at that point, and it wasn't even the WWE doing it. It was 2K. That's what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so somebody goes, so who was better, the Ultimate Warrior or Sting?
Please.
That's the dumbest question I've ever heard. That's like someone coming to me going, who do you like, Peter Gabriel better or Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins? The answer is yes, Phil Collins.
Yes, Phil Collins.
Who do you like better, Warrior or Sting? Sting. Don't ask me that question. No, I hope Britt Baker. I personally hope they figure it out and they get her back on TV. I think that's such a cop. I know probably not, Craig. I agree 100%. I'm hoping though, because that's the biggest cop out. Because that's just more talent for your women's division. Everybody tells me he's the best. Okay, well then stop sending people home, because I agree. Yeah. Let's stop sending. Swole should still be there. I mean, I'm fine with her Swole being on Ashe. I'm cool with that.
Jamie Hayter, before she got hurt, it was like,
oh yeah,
probably she's like the best wrestler in the division and one of the rising stars. And since she's come back, she's done nothing. Now, one can point to she was very complimentary of CM Punk when he left. Yeah, and that could have been the problem, which is also petty of Tony. But now look at Jamie Hayter. She doesn't matter. Camille's gone. Probably never see Camille again. And they just signed her, I think, a year ago. She was on TV for 6 months.
They took one of the best. NWA has not done a lot good. Well, I mean, you can argue for 40 years, but the Billy Corgan era, they've not done many things right. No. But Max and Camille,
yeah,
and they took Camille, and it's already over.
Already. And I think they just signed her because they didn't want WWE to get her. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
Well, and when that contract's over, they'll get her, and it'll be all for not. It'll be a waste of time anyway.
Yeah.
I check it. You check it, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Judah.
Hi, Judah.
Say hi.
So,
hi.
Hello. Ah, there you go.
Okay.
I love it.
Hi, Mommy.
So let's.
All right, in a minute.
Let's also teach your son about racist people. Not that he already doesn't know, but let's.
Close the door.
No, we'll take a mom. Come on, go more bag.
Cool.
I'll do take a mom.
Okay, I will in a minute. Okay. Okay.
I put this little video together.
There are a lot of outside factors in this match.
So I put that video together, which was a nice little supercut of all right, YouTube, be quiet. Of TNA. It's a good segue. Sorry, I was getting distracted by the kids. It was a segue into the TNA discussion, which was man, that looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I am so. I've been on record before. I've said it before. I said it again. The original big other three. Well, I guess the second is the other one. Putting that many people in the building. Very happy. I'm thrilled to see.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that, I don't believe in the whole, well, don't get political on your show. You're gonna drive people away. I don't care. I mean, nobody listens anyway. But that's more important. So whatever. To see people, considering where I thought the IWC was gonna go with Tessa because of her name.
Right.
And to hear 6,000 people just chant what a piece of garbage she is, that it gave me a little bit of hope. In the years of probable darkness and terrible shit, it was nice to see it start off as far as the IWC going, now we reject this person. The match was great.
Yeah.
Cannot deny her talent. Also, Jordynne Grace is one of the best in the business, not women's wrestling, in business today, in my opinion. I still think Toni Storm is the best wrestler on TV in period today. That's just me. At least Tony can hook his, anchor to that or whatever. But at least the crowd let them know. And Craig, this is where, when we continue this discussion, I'm going to let you ask that question for the podcast because I didn't want to waste it for the pre-chat of what you were going to ask off air, because I have an answer because I did think about this as well. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I didn't see the match live, and just like anything that happens in wrestling, or especially in TNA, that I'm not watching, that anything that happens, I see it on social media. So She's a Racist was trending worldwide, so I wonder I had no idea who they were talking about. I thought it was going to be political, but the fact that so many people were chanting that at Tessa Blanchard, and continuously. Now you're Tessa Blanchard. Now you're probably going to get that chant every time you wrestle. Do you turn into the skid? Do you address it? We know she's not going to apologize because she hasn't in 12 years since she was first accused of that. And there's many other transgressions that have nothing to do with racism that paint her as a very bad person. But if you're Tessa Blanchard, what's your next move? As a heel or as a wrestler?
Derek, you go first.
If they weren't chanting you're a racist, I would say run with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy to run with the you're a racist thing, right? That's if it was anything but that, I would say run with it. But that, I don't know how she I guess that's why I'm not a booker, because she's already going to be a heel. Like, she's heel now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you make that work. That I guess have her lean into it to a certain extent, minus the racist part, which is going to be hard because that's the biggest part. Usually they say you take the heat and let it work for you, but that's going to be hard heat to get to work. I don't know. I'm stumped. I'm curious to what y'all think they can do with it.
May I be the white boy on here?
Okay.
I say run with it.
Just have her beat up black females? I don't know. Like,
well,
that's where it gets tricky.
TNA. Listen to my You can tell me I'm wrong because I'm the cracker on this one, so I get it. But and I mean this in no way supportive of Tessa Blanchard, until she actually apologizes, and I'm talking about the real person, not wrestling storyline,
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't do the Hulk Hogan apology, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Preface that real quick. But since you asked, oh yes, you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
There's no way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come out on TV and do an interview and say, I'm sorry, we're going to think it's wrestling.
Right.
So unless you do it in an interview setting with an accredited journalist, not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So you're now the world champion. You're the I'm saying the guy tongue in cheek because Jordynne Grace is pretty much dead. The man just left. Your top star is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, there's the joint relationship with WWE and TNA, which I think is fantastic for wrestling. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a page of that. But I say lean into it, and I don't mean be racist on TV because you're not going to escape the "you are racist" chant, and you're also in this climate of the United States, you're not going to get those everywhere. You know what I'm saying? However,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, let me correct it and also finish my question. I don't mean lean into the racism, but lean into you being a bitch. You're a bitch. You're a bitch backstage for years. You were a bully. Just be a heel chicken shit. Bully bitch heel that you are. Lean into, do the Stone Cold thing. You know, wrestlers are an extension of the personality they already have. Go for it now. There's no denying it is what you are, so go for it. Yeah. And I'm not saying only beat up black wrestlers because no, you can't. Don't do that, please.
No.
But I'm saying, just be a prick.
Okay.
You're never gonna be a baby doll baby face with the pretty eyes, and I mean that, men and women. You're not gonna be what is the expression? I'm using it wrong. The face expression.
The white meat baby face.
That. Yeah. Thank you. Not the baby doll eyes. Sorry. I am a cracker. I did say I was a cracker. I'm saying. But you're never gonna be that again. You can't be that again. You could bring your dad in. You're just gonna insult your dad coming in because he's gonna be associated with you now.
But his dad is one of the great heels of all time. So you're a Blanchard. You're a heel. Period.
There you go. Lean into it. Lean into it. Do the snapshot suplex off the rope. Just be the heel your dad was. It's built into you now. You can't escape it. So yes, I say run with it. I don't think you should throw in the slurs. Probably not a great idea. That was sarcasm for those who couldn't get it over the. But yeah, no, just be a prick. You're a prick. You're a prick. You're a known prick. Lean into the prickness.
Well, that's why I say it gets difficult because what do you do when they start chanting you're a racist again?
And they will.
And do what she did at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, she flipped off the fan. So that's going to get you even more heat because, like, wow, she's not even mad that we're talking.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She made this bet, right?
Mm-hmm.
She made this bet. So you have to do one of two things. You're either leaning into it, like I said, which I could admittedly might not be a great idea. I know that. Or you do the other thing I said is you sit down with an actual accredited journalist, inside wrestling or not. You sit down and go, I fucked up. I did this thing. I did these things. Sit down with the people in the room that you affected. Whatever you got to do and go, all right, I'm sorry. I would really like to start the drive back up the mountain to be a better person and change.
Okay, last
because
one.
That's all you got.
Yeah. Last one on this while we're staying in TNA. It was also announced this week that TNA and the WWE have entered into an agreement together. More specifically, TNA and NXT. Now, we've already seen TNA wrestlers on NXT, and the partnership going forward is going to obviously and enrich both companies. Is Tessa Blanchard kryptonite? Do we stay away from her?
Derek, I'll let you go first, bud.
You gotta. I'd imagine you stay away from now, and you wait to see if things cool down. It sucks that she's like that because her versus Charlotte is a WrestleMania main event.
Oh my God, the horsewoman, Flair versus Blanchard.
Yeah, and he can't do it but you got to let it sit at least for a couple months and see and see if things cool down. But right now it's too hot, and not for nothing. Some of the best talent in NXT are black women, and you got to make sure they're okay with working with her.
Yeah. Right,
that's the other thing.
Green hates her, and she's as white as they come. So yeah,
I was about to say Gigi and all them hate her. Yeah, so it's like, where do you go?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I just want to see that.
I just saw the sign on the clip. It was this somebody took a sign of her dad with a speech bubble that said Tessa sucks.
My buddy, when he texts about her, he spells it Blanchard with 3 K's in it. That's how he spells Tessa Blanchard.
Just a Blanchard. I mean, let me say, I agree everything you said, but also the WWE just brought Hogan back.
That's the thing.
And you saw the reaction he got. So whether or not he's going to come back that's another question.
I'm just saying, you had 2 weeks in a row of wrestling fans saying, we do have some standards that maybe.
Right? Yeah, right.
Maybe not.
So,
no.
She has to, like you said, she has to sit with somebody and talk through all this. And she has to reach out and apologize to everybody. Because it's not just like the racial thing. Apparently, she was like a bully.
Yes.
So, and it seems like all the people she's bullied are names now. Like Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, Gigi Dolan, like all these people who are like big deals now. And Jordynne Grace doesn't like her, and Jordynne's headed to WWE, and I'm pretty sure Jordynne's going to be a big deal before the year is over. You have to atone for all these sins if you want to get things right.
Definitely.
And just to think, all this happened because she was going to win the world title, and she decided to go on Twitter and go, "Oh, people should be happy for me. They shouldn't be hating on me." All she had to do was keep her mouth closed that day. That's it. That's all she had to do.
She tried to grandstand, and Mia Yim, Minchin, and other ladies were like, whoa, wait a minute. Huh? And it was just like a year and or 5 years and 2 weeks ago or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's
and it was crazy because everybody, if the person didn't have a story, they were witness to her being mean to somebody else. Like it's like the bubble is so small, and she affected everybody in it. And I was just like, oh, come on. It's like she acted the way, minus the racism, she acted the way people think Charlotte acts backstage. Like, you know, it was always hear people go, Charlotte's a bully and she demands this and it's Tessa. Everybody loves Charlotte, apparently.
She lives her gimmick though.
The whole Charlotte hate thing is still confusing to me because we've seen the match 100 times. Again, we talked about it last week when I brought up Rhea Ripley. Oh, have you seen the match before? Oh. Here's some of the Allison Kay calling her out, Chelsea Green, Double Down, Priscilla Kelly, Isla Dawn, excuse me, Brack Rose, Rebel chimed in, Yim chimed in, like everybody was like,
everybody,
right?
No, you're an asshole. Like, no, we don't want you here. I mean, just don't. I have an idea. Don't be an asshole.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all.
Apparently, I'm the biggest asshole on within our friendship. Did you know that, guys?
No.
I'm
going to be told. I'm going to be the biggest asshole because I have to go. Because it's.
No, I know you. I know you do. Derek's got a few minutes, so we'll close it out.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Next time we can talk about if you've seen the trailer for Queen of the Ring, starring Jim Cornette. It's a story about Mildred Burke. It's coming out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In theater.
Yeah.
We'll play it on stream next week, and we'll react to it and talk about it.
But in that film, you have AEW, WWE, and NXT and TNA wrestlers in it. All together. Naomi's in it. Tony Storm's in it. Camille's in it. Jim Cornette plays Sam Muchnick. It's Yeah,
man.
really good. Yeah, Josh Lucas is in it.
I remember Josh Lucas. Oh, that's
Martin Cove is in it. So yeah, Queen of the Ring coming out March 7th in theaters.
I'm kicking you from the thing. We love you, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Love you, D-Mac. Give my best to Judah. It's good to see
I
you.
will. Good to see you, man.
Good night, Craig.
Love you.
All right, well, that was Craig Lagans, everybody. So yeah, I don't be everybody tells me about accountability, Derek, and I don't see it. And the crowd, the fans was letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have no choice. You either run with it. There's no gray area on this one. It's black or white. You do either or.
Yeah, because you can't ignore it, and you can't keep putting her on TV and ignoring it. And she better do something quick, because now that they have this relationship with WWE, this would be her best chance of making it
That's
to WWE.
Good point, brother.
I
never thought of that.
This is her best shot, so she better figure something out, and she better figure. I saw an interview she did last week where they talked to her about it, and even then she was like, there's people who think they know things about you, but they don't really know you, and you can't worry yourself with it. And it's like, no, that's not what you do. What are you doing?
No. I'm looking for the to extend this conversation. There was somebody who was mad at PCO, and it was did you see that?
For him destroying the title, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, well, that's a shoot apparently. Like he's done, he left.
Okay, at his age, you really want to burn bridges?
GCW's making money, man. I don't think.
I know. I was about to say GCW.
I don't think PCO cares, man. He's got other stuff.
They sold out Hammerstein. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, somebody. There it is. Oh, yeah. I forgot. There's a slur on here. Here you go. Oh, God damn it! Close the fucking DMs, man. What did so this guy said? How is this old R word still alive? Why did we lose amazing wrestlers when this drugged up jobber is still?
Oh my God!
Making also, no one's going to remember you.
No,
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're remembering him.
Yeah, good. Right. And I remember him before he did all this.
Yeah, I drove him to a show and back once, and he was a fucking great dude. So I don't want to. He's just a nice little Canadian man.
Yeah, he
talking
stole Bret Hart's, he stole Bret's jacket, and as a child, that pissed me off.
Oh, he's the man.
And that was before, when I was even younger, him, Johnny Polo, and Jacques stole the tag team titles from the Steiner brothers on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeah. So I have a long-standing hate for Mr. Pierre Ouellette, but his renaissance has been amazing, and from everything you hear about him, is he's a nice guy.
No, he's just working. This is literally part of that. Well, it's a shoot work, but yeah. So he destroyed the title, and he cited TNA's kind of working with shit people, which I thought that was interesting. Hey. So I said, Emil, you're not going to stop him, dude. Emil, he's going to eat you for dinner. Which I thought was interesting because, again, that extends to our conversation about Tessa and what do we do. Now, again, for those who are listening, I want to point out it's one white dude, me, and two black guys on this show. So I just want to be clear that the two guys were entertaining. Like, yeah, there's a way out of this, but there's a way out of this that we're not following. Yeah. So it's not like cancel culture. And I don't want to hear the words cancel culture again, being who is president of the United States and the Hulk Hogan thing. Cancel culture doesn't exist. Shut up. Nope. And to extend that conversation, like I said, TNA, Sami Callihan, Moose, Tessa, they tried to ignore the Tessa thing at first. Like, should I go down the list of people that they were just in TNA still and nothing happened to them? I mean, I get it. So I did say to the guy, what did PCO do to you for you to call him the R word? He's not responded to anybody really. And I'm like, hey, can you tell me what PCO did to make you so mad?
Yeah, why is he such a bad guy? Yeah, TNA, even if I had heard stories about Don Callis, I'll leave it at that.
Who's working
so-
at AEW like nothing
He's
happened?
working yeah, like there's no problem at all. I'll just say this: there's a reason Cross and Scarlett didn't go to AEW, people. But and it's like at a time where you're supposed to be happy for TNA, they got to deal with WWE. They're gonna run a pay-per-view from UBS Arena out here on Long Island. They seem to be growing a little bit. You would think it's the time to go, oh, some good news, something good finally coming out of TNA, and then this
And
happens.
I'm
Like you
100%
said,
on board for it.
yeah, if they can make this work for her and she atones for what she's done, it can work, and she could be the biggest heel in the business. But she has to do the legwork, and it's been what 5 years now, and she hasn't done anything. And you would think she's been humbled enough where she had to go work in Mexico for the last 4 years. You would think she'd be humble enough to be like, all right, and she hasn't done it. And that's probably because when she came up, because of who her dad was and how good she was, people just let her do what she wanted to do. But she has to show some, like you said, has to show some type of accountability. You have to, because this stuff is going to follow you for the rest of your career. And if God forbid you ever make it to WWE, it's only going to be magnified. And then those sponsors find out, and then you're going to lose your job. So you have to do something. You have to do it now.
I think there's a way back. Yes, Misty, I want TNA to be big again in the worst way. Yes, exactly. So yeah, I'm supporting it, but there's got to be a couple concessions. The Moose thing is still confusing. They should drop the charges. Oh,
well,
okay.
that doesn't mean innocence. Just it could be a plethora of things.
That's like
But
pardoning somebody. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Did I say
Real
that?
quick.
I'm sorry.
Real quick before I go, it's funny you said that. So at work, I work with a guy. He's a very hardcore MAGA guy. We don't really get along, but he was talking
Can't
about
imagine why.
he was just like, I think it's good that he pardoned all the people from the January 6th blah blah blah. I go, he pardoned them? He was like, yeah. So I go, why? You guys told me it was all Antifa and Black Lives Matter people. Why did he let them go for staging that whole thing? And he just looked at me. I was like, no, I need answers. Please tell me.
Don't just look at me. I need an answer. Hold on, everybody. Derek gets this.
but yeah, he just got up and walked away.
Now,
I was just like, huh.
Yeah, okay, good. I just want to point out on this show, the only good Nazi is a dead one.
There it is.
Yeah. Now, talking about wrestling real quick, because I know you got to go. Tomorrow night, Ashe.
Yes.
We got Kiera Hogan. We got Braxton Bateman, a performance. Swole is coming.
Yes.
I cannot wait for this. Oh, man, look at this match. That's going to be great.
I'm very excited. And I got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed Darius Carter talking down to the teacher and the student that was in the ring at the beginning of last episode. He's like, why is this $50K a year teacher and this Make-A-Wish kid in my ring? that was awesome.
He is such a hey, Tessa, there's a good fucking example, lady. But I'm excited as much as I'm sorry, Derek. I totally talked.
No, go ahead.
As much what I'm really looking forward to is this, and like I said, the last wrestler that I was involved with and sponsored in wrestling, Ashton Starr, along with Shug D, Trevor Yan, and Owen Knight, Team Georgia versus Team North Carolina, and 4 names I am not honestly familiar with, but great video packages. Let me know.
Yes.
This is again 2 weeks in a row, in my opinion, the best total wrestling show on TV or PLE. Like, I like TNA Genesis aside that 1 2 3, but Ashe Wrestling is hitting it out of the ballpark. Thousands of views. I desperately want them to, man, what a time to start making a name for yourself. Huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am sitting back with just loving it. I'm like, yeah, good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Good. It's great. Now I know you got to go, Derek. Gentlemen, here, Derek's gone. I mean, Craig is gone, and I'm talking to myself. God, what's going on? I know Craig's got to go. I know you got to go, Derek. So I appreciate you being on here.
No problem.
For Derek McDonald, Craig Lagans on social media at all social media at Craig Lagans. I'm not spelling it for you. It's not hard to spell. Follow me on. If you go to even Twitter, So Twitter, Threads, Tumblr, Spoutable, Mastodon, Blue Sky. I don't know. I think I'm leaving IG and Facebook after this week because of Jim fucking Hipple. What a name. It's not that I'm scared. I'm just exhausted. I don't care to do this for 4 years. Follow me there at Canlo83. I am not scared of some hick country bumpkin. It's fine.
I hear you.
But Derek, we'll see you next week. And everybody, let me reiterate: the only good Nazi is a dead Nazi. And keep
That's
it
right. There you go.
I remember this time. Here's my end